Your defined keywords can be used in any editable text field or page builder within a content group or term group. When we create our content group, we are able to use keywords within the title, content and other fields. For most fields, an autocomplete drop-down list of matching keywords will be displayed when you begin typing with a left curly brace. As I begin typing, you will see that the list updates to reflect what I've entered. I can then select the applicable keyword by clicking on it. We can do the same in the content field. And as we walk through the content group settings, we can also do the same in fields such as the permalink. If you're using the classic editor, the same autocomplete drop-down list of keywords will display when you begin typing with the left curly brace. And in the visual editor, the same will happen. We also have the insert keyword drop-down. Now, this is displayed where possible within a content group. For example, here we're able to display this above the title and the permalink. So if I wanted to select the service keyword as the permalink, I click that and it appears here. If you don't see this autocomplete list of keywords, it's important to navigate to the keyword screen and confirm that you have at least one keyword defined. Depending on the page builder you're using and the specific widget or element that you insert into your content group, the autocomplete drop-down list may also be supported. In this example, we're using Elementor's text widget, and we can see when we enter the left curly brace, our list of keywords is displayed. It's not always possible for Page Generator Pro to provide a list of keywords. For example, in this heading field, we'll note that when we begin typing, we don't see a list of keywords. In this case, I'd recommend referring to the documentation for the syntax needed for a keyword. In this example, if I wanted the service keyword, I would enter the left curly brace, followed by the word service. For more complex keywords, such as those that define columns, I can look at the keyword in the keyword section of the plugin, make a note of the keyword and the specific column that I'd like to reference. So in this example, I'd like to output the location city name. So in my heading, I'll open the left curly brace, enter location, open a bracket, enter the column name, city_name, close the bracket and close the curly brace. If you're unsure about manually typing out keywords, you may wish to use a field that supports the autocompleter. In this case, we'll use Elementor's text editor, prompt the list of keywords, select the applicable keyword, cut or copy it, and then go ahead and paste it in a field that doesn't support the autocomplete dropdown. We're not limited to simply specifying keywords in our content group. We can also apply transformations to those keywords. For example, if we look at our service keyword, we can see we have 4 services, and we'll focus on the first one, web design. If I want to output this in lowercase, I would select the service keyword, and then immediately after the end of the keyword name, but before the closing brace, enter the colon and then apply the applicable transformation. In this case, lowercase all. A list of the available transformations is in our documentation. To demonstrate how that works, go ahead and produce a test. We can see that the service keyword web design matches how it's been entered in our keyword here, but when we apply the lowercase transformation, it's output in lowercase. Other examples are that we can uppercase, we can convert the keyword into a permalink style slug, and we're not limited to a single transformation. For example, I may wish to transform the service keyword into a permalink style slug and then make it uppercase. We can see the effect of this here, where firstly it has transformed the keyword into a permalink style slug, but then it's also subsequently applied the uppercase transformation. As well as transformations, we can output specific keyword terms. In this example, the first page that we'll generate will use the first term web design. However, I might want to reference other terms within this list here in my content group. For example, I may wish to always output my second and third terms in this paragraph here. When we generate a test page, we see that our service keyword has been replaced by the first term web design, but in this paragraph our second and third terms, web development and WordPress development, have been output. And we can see here number 2 is web development and number 3 is WordPress development. We also have the ability to output random terms. In this example, I may wish to output a random term for another service, and I can do this by using the random transformation. When we produce a test page, we will see that our first term, web design, has been output, but we also see a random different term from that keyword. In this case, web development has been output. If I run the test again, we see this time it's output WordPress development instead of web development. If I use this random transformation multiple times, you will see that it will output the same random term. In this example, the mobile app development is output in this paragraph and in the 2 paragraphs below. If I wanted to output a different term for each of these, what I would do instead is use the random underscore different modifier. We can see here that the first random service keyword term is web development, and the second time it's WordPress development. If you're producing location specific sites and you'd like to output a list of nearby locations that are stored in your keyword, the keyword system will allow you to do this. Firstly, you will need a keyword comprising of your locations along with their latitudes and longitudes. You can either supply this data yourself in a keyword, and we have tutorials on how to import CSV data, or you can use the generate locations button here, and we have a separate tutorial on how to do that. We'll then enter some content to say that we also serve nearby areas including, and we'll select our city name, and for our transformation we'll enter the colon followed by nearby. You'll then use the square brackets to enter the parameters to determine the radius of which to output a list of nearby city or town names. The arguments are the latitude column name, which we can find by looking here. It's city latitude, references the latitude. The second is the city's longitude, and again we can see that we have city longitude here, and that is where I'm deriving this from. The third parameter is the radius, and this is the number of miles to restrict this list of nearby terms to. So we'll go for 5 miles. The fourth argument is whether to output those terms by distance from the current city that we've generated the page for. So if we want to do that, we'll enter a 1. If we don't want the cities to be ordered by distance, we would enter 0. We will order them by distance. Let's go ahead and generate a test page. What the plugin has done here is our first location is Acots Green, as we can see in our list of keywords here, and the plugin has gone through all of these locations to determine which of them fall within that 5 mile radius based on the latitudes and longitudes present in the keyword data. In this example, we can see here we've got several towns and cities that are included in that radius. If we were, for example, to reduce the radius to 2 miles and produce a test, we can see that the number of locations reduces accordingly. Likewise, if we were to increase the radius to 10 miles, again, when we produce a test, we see more locations are included. If you're looking to link to nearby location pages that you've generated with the software, you would use the related links dynamic element, and there is a separate video and documentation on that. Again, for any of these transformations that we're walking through in this video, there is documentation available that details all of the applicable parameters and arguments that you need to specify.